When the customer signs, the next step is the salesperson has a list of things that they've got to get done. They've got to get your yard marked. So they'll call a before you dig service and get your utility companies out there to mark anything that's in the backyard, such as electrical or cable or gas. Those are some of the main ones. The salesperson has to draw out the pool at exactly where it goes in your yard so they can pass that on to the construction office so they will know where the pool actually goes. I'm a little nitpicky. I like for a yard sign to be in every yard. It helps our crews find the house. It helps our concrete companies find the house. It's an advertising thing for us, but it's also an accountability piece for us. Everybody that drives by there, if they see that Jim Smith is getting a pool and they want a pool, they're going to ask Jim Smith how we did. In some places, we have to buy the building permit, but it adds cost. We try to stay away from the permit buying business because a lot of times a customer can go do it. It's close to their house and it saves them money instead of us having to go do it. And throughout that, several different little things like we like to have Google Earth images. We like to have a map of the yard so we know where access is. They deliver the construction admin a package and it's kind of like a handoff, and with every question answered. I've seen it take 70 days and I've seen it take 14 days, but it's a process. It happens differently in different locations, quite frankly. That is the checklist portion. You're on the board all the time and the clock is kind of ticking and you're getting closer and closer. And let's just say we had 40 pools to build when you started, but now we've built 20 pools through all that checklist process. When we can see about 3 weeks ahead, roughly, sometimes you'll get a call that morning saying, can we come dig your pool? Because let's just say we're in Mount Vernon, Illinois. We hit that gas line that has to be moved, we'll say, whatever reason. Just stuff like this happens all the time. And it's frustrating for the new customer that say, yeah, they just called me out of nowhere. They wanted to build my pool. But really, that's kind of what we do. We try to keep the guys working. We try to build as much as we can. We try to get as many families swimming as we can. Yeah, so it goes into construction admin. And then once we can see you're coming up in the next few weeks, then a project coordinator, PC, will be in contact, start trying to talk with your electrician, lining up concrete companies in the area. And as it gets closer, probably more realistically within about a week, but when we're doing that, we're talking to concrete companies and the gravel, people that'll haul gravel or where to get gravel. We start to get ducks in a row construction wise. All the things that can happen will happen. So we'll put you on the board. We'll say Monday. All right, Monday they're going to be here, and then you might get a call that Friday or Wednesday before, or you might get a call that Monday morning, and something has happened. Meaning your first date that somebody gives you is not the most likely. And it's not that we're trying to tell you anything just to get you off our backs. It's when we say a date, that's our plan. And we know it's likely to change. But if it doesn't, we want you to be ready for that day. And so part of these videos are to, help people understand that it's our intention to do. And I can promise you, if we're not there on that day, you're not the only one upset, because we've planned this stuff, and that means that something has gone wrong. I always tell people these are some things would keep us from honoring that date. You've got rain, or some sort of weather issue, and it's not weather in your yard. And that's the thing. People say, well, it hadn't rained here and dropped. Well, that's great or bad depending on how your grass looks, but it rained on this other job, and we got to finish up that other job. So if we get rained out on that job, we won't leave that job. We'll stay there and finish it. We have to honor those commitments and then get to your job. That's one of the things that keep us from getting there. The PCs are calling you and saying, okay, we're going to be here. So once we land on the job, what happens is the PC will get with you and help you make sure that we've got the pool in the right place. They'll take their drawing and confirm, and then they'll talk about any elevation discrepancies that we have to get. Getting the pool the right elevation is, to me, one of the most important things. When it rains, water runs, and water doesn't need to pool up. It needs to flow. And so we establish the elevation. While we're doing that, the track hoe, the excavator, is being unloaded. We pull our excavator with a dump truck. So we'll unhitch the trailer, and we'll send our driver to go get gravel and sand to the ability that we can. To the proximity of the gravel and sand will have a bearing on how much we can get on that day. We're digging the pool, and in some instances we've have to haul dirt, and we don't get to haul our own gravel and sand because the next day that dump truck and that excavator is going to dig another pool. So sometimes we'll hire haulers to haul our gravel and sand because we had to haul dirt. A lot of times we will just set the dirt off to the side because we'll use it for backfill, or in some cases we'll set the dirt off the side and then somebody has to come and hauls it later. That's kind of the dig process. Recently, we've added some people to our dig crew. Now, this is on a vinyl pool. They'll bring the pool kit with them, and on the dig day, sometimes we get some walls, bolted together, ready footer, and we've even had some luck getting a footer put. On a fiberglass pool, it's a very, very similar process, except most of the time, our fiberglass pools show up right around 1 and 3 o'clock. Our crew that we've added to our dig crew is now able to set our pools, but it's working remarkably well and it's speeding our guys up. We're going to be able to make more happy families. That's dig day. That didn't take too long, did it? The next step, the actual build of the pool. Some of the building might take place on dig day. That all depends on the season and how far behind the crews are. We've got 1 dig crew and 4 build crews. The build process takes a lot longer than the dig process, so we can typically dig a lot more pools than we can build. What that means is in the summer, we will dig as much as 3 weeks ahead of the build crew. It could be frustrating for a customer in July to see an open hole and they think, well, they just did that for any other reason but to serve themselves somehow or another. And it's not. It's the greater good. We'll dig that hole and it may sit there. We've seen them sit for 3 weeks. We've dug and we've built. And now once we've built, typically we'll pour the concrete on our own pool. Some people will have an outside contractor to do their concrete or their pavers or whatever, but we offer that and we do a lot of concrete decks around the pool. And in most places, they have electrical inspections on the bonding of the pool. The bonding of the pool is simply put a copper wire that has clamps that attach the copper wire to everything metal around your pool. It could be a ladder, it could be rebar in your concrete, or it could be a pool wall. Anything that is metal that's going to be buried in concrete. So we'll bond the pool, we'll form the pool up for concrete, and then we'll wait on an inspector. An inspection can be as early as that same afternoon and as late as a week. Then once the inspection is done, we can go and we can pour concrete and start the finish up process. What to expect at that point is PC to come and show you how to operate the pool, meaning operations like that is a skimmer, that is main drains, that is your pump, that is your filter. Here's where the water comes from your pool, through your filter, back to your pool, and show you all the components and how all that stuff works. There's one element that doesn't happen at your yard that works better at a Saturday morning poolside know-how orientation. We have somebody like Lisa did it this year, and she's phenomenal at taking your water, testing it, explaining to you what pH is and how water behaves around it. She makes it extremely simple. She actually can show you data, how we're cheaper than all these big boxes and anything online that you can get because of the way that our products are packaged and I guess the density or the level of potency that our chemicals are. She will show you also how to save money by buying your product from us. Or a lot of our people that work here have pools of their own. So we will teach you your pool components on your job. It's a good idea for you to video it too, because you can always use that as a reference. Lisa's poolside know-how happens at a different store every Saturday. You can sit in on a Zoom or you can come see us. You'll leave there, a lot of people leave there extremely relieved and give reviews about how great she was and how easy she made it. Our PCs are instructed to, at the end of every pool orientation, to call our service manager and introduce the service manager to the customer, and then possibly schedule the dreaded closing of the pool. When you buy your pool cover from us, the closing is included the first year. And it's not as much about that as it is to say, okay, we're finished with your pool. Now there's going to be your pool is going to live in somewhere between the construction office and the service office. So meaning, construction is going to come and fix anything that construction needs to, and then service may come and fix something that service can. And then by the end of the season, we'll get your pool closed up. And in the spring, construction will probably be out of it, barring any unforeseen warranty issues. Then service takes over. But you get this kind of cohesive process that comes from you're on the internet dreaming about a pool all the way through the entire process to where you're left in excellent hands in our service department that is nationally ranked. You've got this pool in your backyard, but you've got people in your pocket. We're here for you. And we're leaning in ready to take care of you.